I never wanted to be an unreliable narrator, but sometimes there is no carefully curated resolution. Sometimes, when you try and pick up the pieces and make them fit together, you realize that what you're holding isn't a puzzle, but a box of broken glass.
following program contains adult material. Parental guidance is advised.
Great Glenn Miller's Chattanooga. This was Great Duke Ellington, Take the A Train. Remember her great song was the Trolley Song.
Let's close your eyes and imagine that we're on the moon. Close your eyes now. Keep your eyes closed. Just imagine we're not on the planet, but at a school on the moon.
The pioneers of artificial intelligence reasoned that if a brain can also be a mind, then so can a computer. The fact that the hardware of the brain with its neurons was completely different from a computer with its vacuum tubes was irrelevant. It was the thoughts that they manipulated which were important.
Tennis sax in here. Now I don't care what Mama will I'll play my tenor anyhow. Mama will no tennis sax in here. I know you have seen on Channel 9 a lot of times great bands of Glenn Miller. Well, my great percussionist, trumpeter Neil Friel has been with Glenn Miller. You've seen the great Jimmy Dorsey Band. He's been with the great Jimmy Dorsey Band. You've seen Stan Kenton. He's been with Stan Kenton. He's been with Woody Herman. And I can go on and on and on about this fabulous talent behind me that has been with all these great artists throughout the years, just like the two of us have traveled for many, many years on the road, playing with all the big band era. Now, I've asked Neil if tonight he would do something special because we have some very special people here tonight on our show. And he's going to reminisce a little bit with one of the greatest trumpeters that's still living, believe it or not, and still performing. And we're speaking about the great Clyde McCoy and his great favorite tune, I know you all know it, Sugar Blues.
How soon I forget. Ron, all these big name bands he mentioned, and did you notice he forgot Five Smoke? Perhaps the greatest of them all. Well, this is our humble salute to Clyde Barrow. Remember him? He used to drive getaway car for Bonnie Parker. Yeah, well, he was great. The guy knew every road. He knew every road in the Southwest. Geez, you know, one time I went up and I said, I'm going to do Clyde. And they said, well, why don't you do his brother Wheelbarrow? A little humor there. Damn little. Clyde McCoy's still traveling around the country selling all these records. I said, why don't you slow down, man? I said,
Neil Friel, ladies and gentlemen, Clyde McCoy, Sugar Blues.
you know, I never wanted to be one of these trumpet players who just comes up and plays and goes and sits down. I wanted to be a guy like Jack Sheldon that comes up to the mic, you know, talks to the people, and with the assistance of my notes. See, now I'm trying to break into comedy. Now, it's not easy. With a face like this, it isn't really easy. You know, when you're a curse with a face that looks like Larry Bud Millman, it's not easy to be serious. But I'm serious now. I mean, you know, Ron, I realized the other day what naive really meant. You know, the word naive. Naive is when a girl from Ohio thinks those rosettes on an Ohio State football player's helmet are for tackles. That's naive. Ron, did you hear President Reagan's library burned down during the night? You may not have heard this. This is new. This is fresh new. Yeah, both volumes. It burned out, and he hadn't even finished coloring the second one yet. Now, actually, I'm an admirer of the great man myself. You know, it's just that we live in a great free country and we're free to criticize. And in Russia, we couldn't get away with it. Of course, in Russia, we wouldn't even be here, you know. But the thing would be, at this point in time, you know, we must go back to our beginnings. We must realize this, that a great president in this United States of America arose from the common people in the form of Abraham Lincoln, arose from the common man. And a great president arose from the aristocratic classes. Franklin Delano Roosevelt came from the aristocracy. And Gerald Ford, who proved that we don't need a president. We needed a hell of a lineman is what we needed. Well, no, but, yeah. You see, we can't ride on airplanes anymore. That's out. Next year, Ron, you're not flying to Miami. No. See, that's why we have a train theme. Our theme in this club is trains. And there's a reason for this. Have you noticed all the airplane disasters? The latest of which is just too much to believe. The 101st Airborne Division, as if they haven't had enough trouble, you know. Oh well, that's why, ride on trains. Trains are safer. They're much safer. But my question, there's an illogic going in the world, Ron. For instance, why shouldn't airplanes be made out of the same material from which the black box is constructed, you know? The black box always comes through. You notice that? If they make the... another thing, Ron, always, but never fly first class. Fly first class. Never fly first class. Fly cabin class. Fly tourist class. Because the reason for this, have you ever heard of an airplane? Have you ever heard of an airplane backing into a mountain? Think about it. Now, this illogic that has overtaken us has overtaken us in many forms. I mean, I go to the store and I buy a dozen eggs. I get home, I unpack my groceries, and there's space in my refrigerator door for 17 eggs. You know, there's a little frustration there. I go to the store, the Safeway, and I buy a package of wieners. I buy 12 wieners, and I get home, and there's a package of buns with 8 buns in it. It's cunning. I drive to the store. I walk. I go to the post office, and there, I drive to the post office, and there out in front of the post office is a mailbox. Now this shakes me up. I'm already there, you know? You know what I mean? Why should that thing, why should a 7-Eleven store, which is open 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, why should it have a lock on the door? I want some kind of a logic, some illogic. Oh my God, I've got it. I want logic to reappear in our society. Like, why should the presidential aide, the press, his liaison man for the press, who never says anything, be called Larry Speaks? Why should that be? There's no logic. Well, I mean, and the person responsible for the entire outdoors is called the Secretary of the Interior. You know, John wants me to get the hell off here. And being that he's my boss, I have to do this anyway. But I'm going to give you a quick impression. Well, I used to be on top. It wasn't always this way. I used to be on top. I was with the Woody Herman Band, and we played the Ed Sullivan Show, and I was left with this tremendous, lasting impression. Remember those chimps that we had on our show, Ron? Remember those chimps? Well, those chimps came to an unfortunate end on their way up the Monongahela River. They're due a benefit up in Poughkeepsie, and we've got it all on film. Want to roll that film, Harold? Just roll that film. Now notice the one little chimp almost makes it there, the little trooper. And now each week on our show, someone from the athletic world, someone from the sporting field, and this week, being no exception from Italy,
Italian filler, winner of the Italian Open, Mooney Zanino. Come on up here. Bring your interpreter, Mooney. Come on up here, Mooney. That's right. Come on up here. Tell our TV audience of over 75 million people just how you did when you did it, when you won the Italian Open.
Buongiorno. No scarfaccio, del blu, di pinto di blu, no más catreo, sacco, se vi cargando, no más catreo, sacco, se vi cargaggio.
Just marvelous ceremony. And now, interpreter, if you'll walk up right here and address our TV audience of 75 million and tell our TV audience just what Mooney said.
Thank you, Mr. Sullivan. Mooney said he's going to play the Grubba Grubby on the creamy and the couple in the game.
Just bloody marvelous, sir, interpreter. And now, Mooney, will you step back up here and tell our TV audience of maybe 3 million people just what in the hell your interpreter said?
I like that one too. Now this is my last impression for you. This is the great trumpet player, Harry James, who only left us last year.
Frontline, did the 1980 Reagan campaign conspire to delay the release of the American hostages?
This is such a sick story that it defies my comprehension.
Serious people have made serious allegations.
Frontline investigates whether new information will settle the score between those who accept and those who reject the possibility of a hostage deal. Investigating the October surprise.
Tuesday at 9 on KCTS.
Hi, I'm Drake Collier, and Talk TV is back. Now, this Tuesday night at 10, we'll look at the environment in today's high schools. There's a definite upsurge in violence and guns on campus. Can we prepare the next generation under these conditions? Think about it, and then be here this Tuesday night at 10 and call me and let's talk.
Bill Moyers has been informing and educating Americans for over 20 years. Now, as part of Election 92 coverage, he'll focus on the public and private concerns of the American people.
I sacrificed 29% of my pension.
The people in Washington are so far out of touch. It's just, I'm stunned.
Our life has changed. The things that we really had planned for went down the drain.
If you've been wondering what's happening to our economy, or why isn't our democratic system working, then don't miss Listening to America. Another reason why KCTS is more than just TV.
Inside, Friday at 9:30 on KCTS, more than just TV.
Oh, Bonnie, are you going to be all right?
Well, we might as well face it. I'm in a real jam this time. I'm the little ball bouncing around a roulette wheel. Everyone betting me the land where it's going to do them the most good. Votes for the DA, circulation for the newspapers, promotions for the cops.
That still don't give him the right to hang a bad rap on you.
You didn't ask me if it was a bad one.
I didn't have to.
Thanks.
You'd do the same for me if it was the other way around. It could have been, Bonnie. Oh, believe me, it could have been. We were so alike.
All right, stop that. You're a different person now.
This wonderful couple happens to be very fortunate to have a great son-in-law. Where's Jim Oglesby? There he is, right over here. Jim Oglesby, who is a great drummer, sitting in with us, playing with my band for the very first time. But, you know, to have such a talented family, Mike, would you get behind the drums now? I want you to play a couple numbers. This is Mike Trio, that is going to play with our band right now for a few numbers. And on the bandstand, as you've all noticed, is their very lovely daughter, Carol, who has performed with me for over 13 years. So we have, well, I appreciate it. Now, working with me for many, many years is, of course, Daddy over here. Let's give him a nice hand. He doesn't deserve it. My great sax player, Ronnie Friel. For this special occasion, ladies and gentlemen, someone who's been very, very dear to Ruth and me for many, many years, worked with me for probably 14, 15, 16 years, I don't know how long, but he came home especially for his mom and his dad's celebration all the way from New York, and he came also just in time. You know how fate works out. I have a very well-established band, and my ride trumpet player, believe it or not, had another wedding engagement where he was standing up for, and he apologized that he couldn't be here. And I couldn't tell him how happy I was, because I had my great trumpeter, Neil Friel, right here with me. So let's give Neil a nice hand.
Today, organizations of specialists in mental medicine, like the New York Psychoanalytic Institute, have helped to gain general medical acceptance for such doctrines. Here are offered both lectures on psychoanalysis for laymen and courses of study for physicians in the origin and treatment of mental troubles.
Distressing experiences in childhood may set up patterns which in later life will produce mental conflict.
Please remain seated and come to order. Court is again in session.
The record will show the jury, counsel, and defendants present. You may proceed, Mr. Prosecutor.
Our next witness will be here in a moment, Your Honor. He's just outside.
Heavy metal memories will last forever. But at this special price, they can't last long. So act now.
Heavy metal memories will make your brain explode and your ears cry for mercy.
And it makes a swell gift too, don't it?
Where's the makeup room? You're standing in it. Hey, look out! No. Each one she passes goes. But I watch her so sadly. How can I tell her I love her? Yes, I would give my heart gladly. But each day when she walks to the sea, she looks straight ahead, not at me. Tall and tan and young and lovely, the girl beneath the steeple goes walking, and when she passes, I smile, but she doesn't see.
Entertainment Network.
We turn the amplifier down a little bit on the guitar because it was a little loud here, so you can adjust it accordingly. Thank you.
Looks like Jim's getting ready to leave, everybody. I know Jim really appreciates this. His family really appreciates everyone turning out like they did and their great generosity. Thank you, folks. How about giving Jim a nice hand before he gets out of here? There you go, Jim.
Well, you